you guys to come into this, check this poll, where I'd like you guys to tell me where you think Israel rates in terms of per capita startups in the world.
What do you mean by startup?
Startups are companies that invent something. Like, for example, there are, we couldn't have cell phones without Israeli inventions. The USB was invented here in Israel.
Waze is from Israel.
Waze we're going to get to in just a minute and see what Waze is for those of you who don't know. Although today I think it's hard not to know what Waze is. Guys, just click in and vote.
I voted. In order to see my reaction, just click on where it says there is one or there are two new reactions.
People have voted. 2 people have voted so far.
Yeah,
Jeremy and Andrew have voted. Okay. So far we're even.
Come on, everyone, weigh in.
We're going to give it 10 more seconds. So far we're evenly split between top 5 countries, top 10 countries, and second only to the USA in per capita number of startups. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you guys, and now you're going to see some of those startups, that Israel is actually second only to the USA in per capita number.
I was kind of right because like top 5
in the world, not in actual numbers.
Oh.
In actual numbers. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Israel, it is number 1 in per capita. In actual startups, Israel is second only to the USA. In per capita, Israel is actually number 1 in the world. And we're going to see how that is and why that is in some of her.
Does anyone know what per capita means?
I learned this in like social studies.
Andrew?
Like,
yeah.
So it's like, if I remember, it's like the amount of money a country has by like a year. I didn't know.
No, that's you're thinking of the GPA.
Yeah.
I'll read it. I'll tell you.
Per capita is that per person?
Per person.
Person.
Yeah. More.
The number of X per person
Mm-hmm.
is per capita. So in our case, we're talking about the number of startups per people in the country. Okay. So
wait. So what number 1 in the world for how many startups are per person? So like that means like the people make a lot of startups. It's like one person makes like a bunch of startups.
Well,
no, Andrew. It might be every 10 people makes one startup.
Okay.
So let's think of the number of people that live in the United States. Okay, how many people live in America?
A couple of billion.
Not billion.
Billion. I think about, isn't it like
hundreds of millions of people live in America, okay? So obviously because and only 8 million people live in Israel. So there are so many fewer people living in Israel that in real numbers, Israel won't have as many startups as the United States, but percentage-wise per capita, or the percentage of startups to the percentage of people, Israel has the most. Okay, so I want to spend some time with you guys looking at some of the really crazy inventions that Israel has come up with. And this particular invention, does anyone recognize the little emoji on the screen? Ben, do you know what that is? Have you seen it before or heard of it?
Yeah, it does.
It's Waze.
Doesn't it like give?
It's Waze.
Yeah,
It's
it gives
Waze.
directions.
Okay, guys.
Because it says Waze right underneath it.
It does. So pay attention to what is Waze.
Welcome. You just became a Wazer. That means you're never alone on the road anymore. That's because you're now connected to the largest community of drivers on the planet who share real-time traffic information and live road alerts to help everyone bypass traffic, save time and gas money on their commute. So, Just drive with the Waze app open, and you're already contributing a ton of traffic info that helps your fellow drivers. You can also actively report events you see while driving. All hands-free, of course. Waze's big brain rounds up all the real-time info shared by the community and gives you the fastest route to your destination, every time, even rerouting you midway if there's a better route. Waze learns the routes you prefer to frequent destinations and factors them in too. Connect to Facebook to meet up, arrange pickups, and see a live status of your friends and colleagues arriving to an event or shared destination. Even Waze's maps update in real time. The community keeps them ever improving. Hey, you can get involved in map editing too. The bigger your community, the better Waze gets. So, spread the word, because when drivers work together, the road ahead gets a little brighter.
Okay, guys, so a cool thing about Waze is Waze doesn't only give you directions. Waze actually became a traffic social community.
You just became a Wazer.
In Israel, this little guy doesn't always look like this. First of all, he can look like lots of different people, but he also changes according to the Jewish holiday. And he can have a Hanukkah costume or a Pesach costume or a Yom Ha'atzmaut costume, depending on the time of year. So I want to take a minute and listen to Uri Levine, the